Is the Fed just going to print money?
That's literally what Congress has told us to do. There's enough cash in the financial system, and there is an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve, an infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve, an infinite amount of cash.
No, you can't just print more money.
I saved the economy.
We're trillions of dollars in debt. The debt to GDP ratio is out of control. Who's going to pay for it?
Haha. Money printer go
The dollar has lost 99% of its value. Bitcoin is finite and cannot be inflated. I should buy some.
What's up YouTube, it's your boy MX Style, and this is how it's going down. In this episode I'll be giving you an overall market update as well as some news. I know I've covered Bybit, Zilliqa and VeChain quite a lot, so I'm going to give that a break and just give you guys some of the latest news.
J-Ray, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
It's world domination, nation. You tune in, station. Always got the doobie in the motherfucking nation. Always got the trees, so what
Okay guys, before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that I managed to get a really special bonus for you guys. So I've partnered with Bybit and they're offering a free $90 no deposit bonus for you to get traded with, so you can trade risk free and not have to risk any of your capital. So on Bybit you can trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS and XRP. In terms of the most volatile assets, I would say XRP and Ethereum. However, you could trade whichever one you like. If you guys would like, then check out my Bybit trading tutorial just to give you a foundation on how to get started with Bybit and how to use their platform. Like I said, it's $90 free, so you don't have to spend any of your money. So you might as well use it and then you can withdraw the profit. So looking at the markets, we can see that everything has had a dump. So I know you might be panicking and think, oh, we're gonna go down to zero, but that's not the case. Just look at it as a good buying opportunity, especially for your favorite coins. You can see in the top 10 most things have dropped anywhere from 3 to 7%. So yeah, look at it as a good opportunity. Bitcoin got rejected, or Bitcoin was trying to pass the 13k mark and got rejected. ETH as well got rejected at 440. But yeah, it's a good buying opportunity. Looking at the biggest gainers, we have NXM, which I'm not too familiar with. Yuan Finance again, surging once again. This was around, it wasn't 9,000 yesterday. And then Theta, Ren, BTC, OMG. So yeah, all in all, not too many big gainers. And looking at the biggest losers, Ocean Protocol minus 20%, Numera minus 17%, Nest Protocol minus 14%, and etc. You guys get the gist of it. Zilliqa though, minus 10%, so that would, I'm gonna get in on that tomorrow when I get paid. Hopefully it's still down, fingers crossed, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that's that. We can see that Ethereum gas fees are just out of this stratosphere. Like a couple of weeks ago it was like 80, well not even a couple of weeks ago, a couple of days ago it was around 86 Gwei, and you can just see that it's getting out of hand a bit. Bitcoin dominance is remaining below 60, which is a very good sign. That's how we know it's altcoin season, basically, when Bitcoin dominance is going down and down, because it means that the market cap, Bitcoin in comparison to the market cap of all these altcoins is going down, and therefore their price and value and money being invested into them is going up. So looking at the main article of today, we have Bitcoin being mentioned in the Independent newspaper, which is just an uber bullish sign. So we can see Bitcoin price hits 2020 record high. We can see here Bitcoin price hits 2020 record as investors turn to cryptocurrency during pandemic. And you guys know how well reputable the Independent is. If you're not from the UK, then this is basically a very traditional, very well reputed newspaper company that, you know, they only talk about legit and credible news and events. So to see Bitcoin in this article is just amazing. It is a bit old because they were talking about Bitcoin breaking 12k, and since then we have broken down, but nevertheless it's still quite relevant. So just looking at the article quickly, it says that the latest gains mean that the price of Bitcoin is nearly trebled since March, which is almost true, despite the global economic shutdown caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Other cryptocurrencies have mirrored Bitcoin's fortunes, with Ether, also known as Ethereum, rising from above $100 in March to a price of $430 today. Bitcoin remains a long way off its record high of 20,000, which it reached in late 2017, but the recovery is a sign that cryptocurrency is increasingly being viewed as a safe haven asset. During times of economic uncertainty, investors tend to turn to assets with a fixed supply, such as gold, as they are not subject to inflationary measures like quantitative easing. So that's very, very true, and they definitely know what they're talking about, guys. So if you guys have any cash on the side, I would consider buying some of your favorite coins, as this is a good buying opportunity. And just to give you guys a broader perspective, we can see that we're still in our ascending channel. Basically, I drew this a couple weeks ago, but this line here represents us going to 288k, and this line here represents us going to 100k within the next 1 to 2 years. And the steeper line represents 288, as I said, and this is 100k. So we're still well within our range. Whether we go sideways for a bit or go up, we're still within the range. We can see that we sort of broke out of so we broke out of the 0.5 Fibonacci range, and now we have flipped it as support. So that is a very, very good sign. I would look to see us moving up in the next couple of days and weeks, just like so. Even if we have a retracement, we could even go down to here or something, but essentially our ultimate direction is up, like so. Sorry about the arrows, those are actually terrible, don't judge me. So just to zoom out and just to give you guys a better perspective of what I mean about where we're headed, this is our all-time high. This was the 3-year line of resistance that we've broken, flipped as support, and this is the next Fibonacci line that we've flipped as support essentially, and the next target would be 13k. So we're very so these are our targets, guys, in the next 2-3 years, like anywhere from 288k to 100k. We do have a lot of time, and you can see where we are now is just insignificant in comparison to where we will be or where we hope to be. Not trying to fill your guys' heads up with moonage, but that is ultimately where we're headed. If you look at the price history of the chart, then you can see a logarithmic scale. Unfortunately, this data only goes back to 2015, but you can see here in our previous bull run, which was from which is started after the 2016 halving in around July, we flipped above the 20-day moving average, and since it started, we never went below it. So just looking at the previous bull run and some of the price data, just to give you guys perspective, we did have some retracements of anything from like 26% in a couple of days, 32%, 35%, and 30%. You see where I'm going with this. But essentially, after the halving, like similar to how we are now, we went above the 20-day moving average and we didn't go below it. And we can see here we are above the 20-day moving average, and I don't personally think we will go below it. We may have retracements like we did in the previous bull run of like 20% in like a couple of days, in a month or so. But ultimately, you guys know the price trajectory, as I keep on mentioning it. So just look at these dips as good buying opportunities. So looking at the next article, it just says that once we do flip 13k, then the markets will go crazy, basically. And it's not me saying it, this is John Bollinger pretty much saying it, as well as another trader. But looking at the article, it says Bitcoin price will explode once it hits above 20. Bitcoin price will explode once it goes above 13k. One trader believes in Bitcoin futures as it trades 6% above its spot price. And so you can see that we're nearing or at an all-time high for the year. I can't really have a level look, but Mr. Bollinger, who created the Bollinger Bands, they're quite a well-respected indicator and it's used on several trading platforms. But pretty much this is what he says: institutional investment in Bitcoin remain a major topic of conversation among supporters this month, following a dramatic buy-in from multi-billion-dollar MicroStrategy in late July, where they bought around $250 million worth of Bitcoin, which is around 21,000 Bitcoin, and that's their hedge against inflation. So as asset manager, Grayscale has seen record investments in its various cryptocurrency funds as Bitcoin outperforms gold as a fiat hedge. On Monday, a sudden swing above 12,000 was presumed to be a red herring, but the higher levels have since held. For Mr. Bollinger, creator of the Bollinger Band's volatility indicator, there was now every reason to believe in the strength of the rally. So we have dipped below the 12k mark, as I keep on saying, but ultimately, as long as we're above, what is it, above like 10k, 10.5, like I would remain bullish, to be honest. I'm not worried. It is psychologically daunting to just watch everything go down, because all of my investments, like, the value's gone down by a couple £100. But ultimately, it's not the end of the world. Just add more to the pot. Sorry to be a broken record. Looking at the next 3 articles, just going to go over these quickly. 98% of all Bitcoin is worth more than when you bought it, aka 98% of all Bitcoin investors is in profit. So you might be wondering, what are you on about? How did you get that information? Well, look at this. Put in another way, as on-chain analytics service Glassnode noted in its week on-chain weekly report on Monday, 98% pretty much of Bitcoin unspent transaction outputs are in profit. So if you guys don't know about Glassnode, I'll put a link in the description, or try to, and they give you on-chain analytics. You do have to pay for this sort of data, but generally their on-chain analytics is free. But yeah, that's capitalism for you. If you want good information and stuff, you got to pay for it, or you can just watch YouTubers and stuff like that. That works as well. That's that. So next up we have Bitcoin slides to 11.8k, but Uniswap takes 7. Next up we have the fact that Uniswap slides. Next up we have the fact that Bitcoin has slid to 11.8k, but Uniswap receives $7 million in monthly ETH fees. So like I keep on saying, guys, we've dipped below 12k, but essentially, if you guys don't know what Uniswap is, it's a decentralized exchange, also known as a DEX. So this is where people like traders and investors go to buy different altcoins and low cap altcoins that aren't on exchanges yet, and they essentially, that's how you get the most gains, because they're so low cap, they're not on exchanges yet, and when they do get listed on exchanges, that's when you see a massive price increase. So we've seen that for like things like TrustSwap, and that's still not in any major exchanges yet. So I've got my eye on a couple of different altcoins. Just to read the article really quickly, it says that the decentralized exchange, or DEX, Uniswap V2 has crossed the 7 million mark in fees collected over the past month. It is currently number 1 on the Ethereum network according to fee tracker ETH Gas Station. The DEX also dominates the market for trading volume at 233 million in the past 24 hours and over 60% of the market share. Honestly, that's ridiculous. 233 million in a whole day, in 24 hours. That's basically 100 million per hour, pretty much. Or no, 10 million per hour, sorry. Bad maths, sorry. I'm usually quite good at maths, but that's just ridiculous. Lastly, we have the Turkey president panicking over massive inflation. If you guys don't know, I think roughly the other week, Turkey had reached an all-time high in terms of its Bitcoin valuation, as their currency is just like literally worthless. And I feel really sorry for the people there. But just to read the article, rampant inflation affects Turkish president's confidence in the nation's lira fiat currency. Even with the market interventions and reassuring stories about monetary stability coming from government, the local faith in lira is on a downtrend. The local faith in the lira is on a downward trajectory. Inflation is currently at 11.8% Inflation is currently at 11.8% and has overtaken the amount of interest offered for savings at banks. One resident was quoted as saying he had bought gold as a safe haven asset. I think it is the best investment right now, so I converted my dollars to buy gold. I might withdraw my lira to buy gold with it too, but I'm scared to go to the bank right now because of coronavirus. So you can see, ultimately everyone is trying to hedge their money against the inflation, and gold, silver, Bitcoin, as Robert Kiyosaki always says, will do us good right now. So that's been the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you're new.